L-carnosine improves cognition, memory, energy levels, prevents brain cell death, and is anti-aging. L-carnosine is a dipeptide of the amino acid beta-alanine and histidine. Carnosine is found throughout your body. The highest concentration are in high energy demand areas like your brain, your heart, and your muscles. L-carnosine is known as the longevity molecule. Carnosine levels start to decrease with age, starting at the age of 10, and they decrease by 63% by the time you reach 70 years. L-carnosine is one of the most powerful antioxidants known. It's a heavy metal scavenger. It's a super autoregulator. It stands alone when it comes to preventing and to reversing advanced glycation end products and cross-linking. It's highly concentrated in your brain. Your brain uses L-carnosine to repair tissue and to clear away toxins, and it increases the energy output of your mitochondria. It suppresses excess immune responses when your immune system is in a hyper mode, and it stimulates the immune response if you have a weakened immune system. L-carnosine prevents and reverses the damage done by advanced glycation end products. These are created in your brain by sugars binding to amino acids, and they're caused by a variety of things, including certain food and cooking techniques, affecting word recall, response time, and cognition. L-carnosine can revive mitochondria and even rescue your brain cells if the mitochondria have stopped functioning. L-carnosine has a powerful antioxidant effect in your brain. It continues to prevent oxidative damage even after brain cells have been attacked by free radicals, preventing brain cell death and neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's. Carnosine is a dipeptide of the amino acids beta-alanine and histidine. Carnosine is found throughout your body, the highest concentrations in the high energy demand areas like your brain, your heart, and your muscles. Carnosine is known as the longevity molecule, and it targets several major processes in your brain and your body. It removes heavy metals which accumulate in and damage the brain cells, causing diseases like Alzheimer's. And it prevents cross-linking of proteins, which can cause neurofibrillary tangles that are found in Alzheimer's. L-carnosine fights mitochondria dysfunction by relieving oxidative stress caused by the accumulation of free radicals in cells. This not only works in your brain cells, L-carnosine is used by athletes to achieve better results. Its buffering nature contributes to the acid-base balance in the muscles. Researchers have found L-carnosine restores neurotransmitter receptors, receptors that were damaged from a stroke or from glutamate toxicity. And L-carnosine reduces damage to telomeres. These caps on the end of the DNA strands shorten with each cell replication. This natural, ongoing process is used, for example, in long-term potentiation needed to form memories. L-carnosine slows the rate of the shortening of the telomeres. Some L-carnosine is naturally produced in the body by the enzyme carnosine synthase, and you can get the L-carnosine from food, primarily from red meat and poultry, but a typical meal provides only about 250 milligrams of carnosine. It then quickly is degraded in your body by the carnosine enzyme. This means carnosine from food doesn't last long enough in your body to provide much of the benefit. And if you're vegetarian, you won't be getting much carnosine other than what's naturally produced in your body. Supplementing with at least 1,000 milligrams of L-carnosine per day overwhelms the carnosinase enzyme, allowing you to maintain consistent blood levels of this vital nutrient. L-carnosine is critical for brain health. L-carnosine's antioxidant, neuroprotective, chelating, and anti-glycation activity not only maintains optimal brain health, the dipeptide can be used to prevent and to treat neurodegenerative diseases like diabetes, disease of the sense organ, and even cancer. L-carnosine has been shown to reduce oxidative and glycemic stress, and it reduces inflammation. L-carnosine reduces the accumulation of beta-amyloid plaque, which plays a role in cognitive dysfunction and Alzheimer's disease, and it helps to remove heavy metals that cross the blood-brain barrier and accumulate in brain cells. L-Carnosine is required for healthy mitochondria. In your brain, you can have thousands of mitochondria in each cell, and they pump out energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. 20% of your body's total ATP is located in your brain. Glycation during this energy production reduces the functionality and the efficacy of the mitochondria. This in turn can cause apoptosis or cell death. Glycation happens when proteins or DNA bond chemically to sugar molecules. These sugar molecules go on to form advanced glycation end products. These are implicated in Alzheimer's, skin wrinkles, hardening of the arteries, and reducing the function of most major organs, including your brain. A study in the Netherlands was done to examine the association between the advanced glycation end products and cognitive function. The population-based study also included 215 people with type 2 diabetes. The researchers tested for global cognitive function, information processing speed, verbal memory, both immediate and delayed word recall, and response inhibition. The study found that there was a direct correlation with markers measured for the advanced glycation end products and decreased cognitive performance, and the associations were no different between healthy people and those with diabetes. Another study out of the University of California determined that L-Carnosine was able to prevent the advanced glycation end products. Free electrons are a byproduct of ATP energy production. These electrons convert oxygen to a highly reactive form capable of damaging brain cells and wreaking havoc with DNA in the long term. L-Carnosine supports healthy DNA. If left unchecked, it leads to neurodegenerative diseases like memory loss, cognitive dysfunction, and eventually diseases like Alzheimer's. ATP levels decline in mitochondria. Cognitive, learning, memory, and recall also decline. Advanced glycation end products damage the brain cells. Free radicals damage brain cell mitochondria. All of these changes can happen at any age, and they can start at the age of 10 or even earlier in the case of autism. So L-Carnosine supplementation can help for the age-related cognitive decline, as well as anyone who wants to boost cognition, learning, recall, and memory. There's a proven high correlation between human lifespan and L-Carnosine levels. L-Carnosine is highly concentrated in your muscle and your brain. It's directly involved in a number of life-extending activities. L-Carnosine helps to prevent the build-up of advanced glycation end products that damage the mitochondria and eventually end in premature death. It's a heavy metal chelator, and it works by removing heavy metal accumulation in brain cells. Carnosine is an antioxidant and a pH buffer in muscle cells, preventing lactic acid buildup. When you supplement with L-Carnosine, you'll notice younger-looking skin, and you'll have more energy. L-Carnosine boosts energy. You should experience a boost in cognition and decision-making. Thinking could be more fluid, and your motivation may also increase. These changes are reported by people in their 20s and 30s, as well as by more senior users. Most of the talk and research on L-Carnosine is on its anti-aging and longevity benefits. It turns out that influenza virus raises nitric oxide and oxygen-free radicals such as superoxide anion. When nitric oxide and superoxide anion interact, they form peroxynitrate, the pathogen that causes pneumonia. The excess amount of toxicity and oxygen radicals generated overwhelmed your immune system. A study in the American Journal of Therapeutics reports that L-Carnosine can put a stop to this overwhelming effect, and it can help you to avoid or get rid of the flu or a cold. And eating chicken soup to make you feel better when you're sick isn't just an old wives' tale, as chicken is rich in L-Carnosine. Animal and human studies suggest the NMDA antagonists worsen executive function. This dysfunction is often caused by glutamate toxicity, and if this persists, you end up with diseases like schizophrenia. A double-blind, placebo-controlled study worked with 75 adults with schizophrenia. They were stable in their symptoms at the time of the study. The subjects were randomly selected to receive 2 grams of L-Carnosine per day for 3 months. Executive dysfunction, memory, attention, and motor speed were assessed at the beginning and at 4 and 12 weeks. The L-Carnosine group performed much better in executive function tests, and they were better at strategy with fewer errors than the placebo group. L-Carnosine enhances frontal lobe function in your brain, and it acts as a neuroprotectant. It also works with GABA for an anticonvulsive effect. A double-blind study worked with 31 children with autism for 8 weeks. They were given 800 milligrams of L-Carnosine per day. The scientists then used several autism rating scales to measure the results. After 8 weeks of L-Carnosine use, the children showed significant improvement in behavior, sociability, communication, and vocabulary. The researchers concluded that L-Carnosine enhanced their neurological function. Human cells have a limited capacity to divide, after which they become senescent. This is known as the Hayflick limit. L-Carnosine slows brain cell apoptosis, or cell death. Hayflick discovered that your cells go through 3 phases. This first is rapid cell division, called mitosis. The second is where mitosis slows, and the third stage is senescence, where the cell stops dividing entirely. They remain alive for a while, and then they do a particularly disturbing thing. They commit suicide. The programmed cell death is apoptosis. This cell life cycle occurs throughout your body and has trillions of cells. Researchers at Sydney Laboratory in Australia found that L-Carnosine extended the cell life. They put cultured, aged human cells into a petri dish with carnosine. The cells reverted back to juvenile cells. When they put those same newly rejuvenated cells in a culture that had no carnosine, they reverted back to their old self again. Put them back into the carnosine and they got young again. This experiment has been done again and again in labs around the world, establishing L-Carnosine as the best anti-aging supplement. Recommended L-Carnosine dose is 1000 milligrams per day. To keep a consistent level of L-Carnosine in your body, split your dose into 2 500 milligram doses, one in the morning and one later in the afternoon. One important note on L-Carnosine: when you supplement with L-Carnosine, it binds to aldehydes, preventing them from making proteins. The byproduct is lipofuscin. This age pigment is not dangerous, but it shows up as brown spots on your skin and other organs. As lipofuscin builds up over time, this process is accelerated when using L-Carnosine. It can interfere with proper organ and cellular functions. This is why it's recommended taking L-Carnosine with DMAE and acetyl L-carnitine. DMAE is a naturally occurring nutrient that enhances acetylcholine synthesis, and acetyl L-carnosine boosts mitochondrial energy while acting as a neuroprotectant. Both DMAE and acetyl L-carnitine help to flush lipofuscin from your brain and your body, so taking these with your daily dose of 1000 milligrams of L-Carnosine is recommended. L-Carnosine is water-soluble, so you don't need to take it with a meal or a healthy fat like some dietary supplements. Carnosine is considered an extremely non-toxic and safe substance. High doses can cause insomnia, and L-Carnosine can sometimes cause a stimulant effect, so you should take your second dose in the afternoon. Your body does make some L-Carnosine on its own from the amino acids beta-alanine and histidine, and you can get small quantities from red meat and poultry, but it's easily and quickly broken down by the enzyme carnosine synthase. So, to get the benefits and enough to overwhelm the carnosinase enzyme, you should take it as a supplement. L-Carnosine is especially helpful for repairing brain cells at the mitochondrial level. It removes heavy metals, it works as a powerful antioxidant, and it gets rid of advanced glycation end products. Advanced glycation end products kill brain cells. Foods that are high in advanced glycation end products include roasted, fried, sautéed, and barbecued meat, nuts, and tofu. Your natural production of L-Carnosine starts to drop at the age of 10, so anyone will benefit from supplementing with this anti-aging nutrient. L-Carnosine helps to control blood glucose levels. It prevents Alzheimer's, improves wound healing, protects from the side effects of chemotherapy, alcohol-induced liver damage, combating heart disease and eye health by protecting and repairing cataracts. L-Carnosine is also particularly useful if you're dealing with autism or Alzheimer's. For autism, doses of 800 milligrams per day were used. For Alzheimer's disease, a dose of at least 1000 milligrams per day was used. And don't forget to also take L-Carnosine with DMAE and acetyl L-carnosine.